The 1957 Chevy is one of those cars that nearly wasn't. Ford was rumored to be introducing a new style for 1957, which they did. And of course, the Bowtie Boys really wanted to be competitive. GM had kept Fomoco at number 2 since forever. Unfortunately, production delays caused them to give the old shoebox design a facelift. They added bullets to the front and fins to the back, among other things, including smaller wheels to lower the stance. Through whatever gods oversee the world of cars, they managed to create what is arguably one of the most sought-after, well-remembered cars. Say what you will, but those 3 years of Chevy, 55, 56, and 57, the Tri-5 as they are sometimes called, are infamous. And if there were a crown jewel, the 57 was it. Often called the baby Cadillac for its similar design cues, it could be ordered with the Corvette's fuel-injected motor, and NASCAR even imposed engine limits on it because it kept beating everybody. True story. This one is a Dinky. I don't even remember where I got it. I do know that Dinky's days were numbered after Mattel entered the diecast market, and they were a victim of some brisk ownership changes. Ironically, this issue was a creation of Matchbox, who acquired Dinky in 1987, and in 1988 they released a series of 1/43rd scale cars that were produced until 1995. This was one of those cars. They're not particularly rare. You can find them all over the internet, still in the box, for $15 to $20, and I'm going to paint it pink with rattle cans. First thing to do is take it apart. Somewhat different than a 1/64th diecast. Into the primordial ooze. For old time's sake, a shake for luck. I use Duplicolor primer for a couple of reasons. First, I get a great big can for $8. And second, it's a bit thinner than, say, Tamiya primer. I may have to do 2 coats, but I think that the thinner paint gives me a better sense of control. I also use Duplicolor bright silver automotive paint as a base coat. I think that some silvers designed for hobby use have silver particles in them that are a little bit too big for this scale. I want a silver that is not that way. I want it to be creamier. I also have a darker silver that I will use if I want to deepen the hue of translucent paints. I didn't use that here. The pink was done with Tamiya PS40 translucent pink and a couple of coats of Minwax clear over the top. One of the things about shooting rattle can paint is you can probably put it on a little heavier than you might think. You don't want to run it, of course, but it has carriers that evaporate, and the paint really settles down onto the casting very well. I think it turned out pretty good. The roof and all the chrome was stripped in brake fluid and repainted with Duplicolor white from a rattle can. The chrome I painted by hand for both the roof and the trim pieces using Molotow ink. The 2 side trim pieces broke. They were super thin and brittle. I think I got them back together okay. The interior I painted white using Duplicolor primer and a top coat of Tamiya flat clear. The white walls on the tires had paint chips that were missing, so they were clean. And I tried a few different methods to try to put the white walls back on, but eventually just opted for black walls as opposed to crappy looking white walls. This car will be on eBay with all of the proceeds going to breast cancer research. I'll include a link below, or you can click the eBay icon on my main channel page. Be sure to check out the other Paint It Pink projects. Ha! Say that 10 times fast. But there's a ton of them out there, so go check them out. I hope you enjoyed the project. This is Time Rider, and I'll leave the light on for you.